good friend of mine called ChatGPT to double check.
Oh yeah, that's the best friend. I use it a lot. I love that friend. He's everybody's friend these days.
I'm like a Christmas tree in a friggin' mall. When Division 3 drops, oh no, I'm not playing anything else but Division 3.
Welcome to Behind the Stream, the podcast where we go beyond the gameplay and get to know the real people behind the content. Today, I'm joined by Major Payne OG, a streamer who's built a strong, supportive community and made a real impact through gaming. So, hello, Major Payne. Thank you very much for finding. Time for me.
Always. It's always fun to do stuff like that. Build community. It helps.
Yes, exactly. So let's go. As I ask always, what's your streaming CV? I mean, when you started, how long you stream? Just a little bit about yourself.
So I've been streaming on and off for about 10 years. Life, machines breaking down stuff have kind of caused breaks in the streaming. The length of time that I've been able to do it like solid, but I've been able to stream solid again. This last time I've been streaming since February. I've been able to get back online. I've got my game PC up and running. I got my stream PC up and running and been reworking my whole setup to make sure that it's somewhat future proof. So that way, I don't have some of these issues that I've had in the past going on. So
Yeah. Is it only PC you stream on, or also PlayStation, Xbox as well?
I do stream on PlayStation, though most of my streaming is on PC.
What's the first game you remember playing? Not streaming, but
the first game I ever played on, that goes back to like the 70s, if you want to include like
back to 70s.
Yeah. Late 70s, I was on a Trash TRS-80, learning basic programming. And for those of you that don't know kind of what that is back when they actually used cassette tapes as hard drives to store stuff.
Awesome. I didn't even know it. So that kind of stuff happening. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm in my 50s.
And was it always like which genre was it? Shooters, RPG, strategy?
So my first like multiplayer gaming with other people kind of game was Delta Force Land Warrior back around 98.
Are you nostalgic about the earlier gaming eras? It was different, wasn't it?
It definitely was different. And, as somebody that has seen and lived through kind of the progression of what gaming is today, oh my gosh, it's like being somebody that grew up on dial phones. Now we're looking at friggin',
Yeah, I know what you mean. Exactly. It's totally different, I believe. And what was your first username, or was it this one? Like when you were like younger?
When I first started ever gaming on back in 98, my username legitimately was Major Payne.
Since then?
Yes.
Awesome. So wow, that's like I've changed like more nicknames during my 8 years. when you got yours, nice.
Any game I've ever had has always been Major Payne or a variation of Major Payne, like for example Major Payne OG. If I join a game and Major Payne's already taken, I've always had a different Major Payne OG or something else added to it. Back in 98, we were at Delta Force. I was lucky, Delta Force Land Warrior. I was lucky to have Major Payne. We were part of a semi-large group. And then we converged into a larger group to where we had like, I think 300 people in our group running, Delta Force Land Warrior. We had America's Army going. We had Vegas and Vegas 2 and all of those games going.
Was it mainly shooters, right? First person shooters?
It was mainly shooters. That was kind of somewhat what was available back then. There wasn't a lot of online MMOs kind of back then.
Oh yeah, MMOs, RPGs. You never been a big fan of those, or?
So I am a huge out of this world fan of Final Fantasy. So I beta tested Final Fantasy 11, played it. Beta tested 14, played it. I still play it today. So uh it's just I don't play it as much right now because it's just as a gamer, most gamers will understand this. You go through burnout when you play a game too much, especially when it's like a MMO style game, like Final
It's
Fantasy.
loads of hours, isn't it? It's putting in loads of
Yeah,
hours,
and you,
grinding. Yeah.
yep, and then you get to in-game stuff, and it's just doing the same fights over and over and over and over to get
Yes, exactly.
just
So, and
minutely better gear.
yes, and about story games, like which would be your favorite story game?
So story-based games, Final Fantasy, though I admit, uh, I am not a lore hound in Final Fantasy. I know somebody that is like an encyclopedia when it comes to Final Fantasy. I mean, this guy can tell you everything about Final Fantasy, all the branch games that come out of Final Fantasy or have led into Final Fantasy. Like this guy is a wizard when it comes to Final Fantasy. I am not that. I love the game. I love the basic story of the game. The main thing that draws me to those style of games is the fighting. I love the action of the game.
The combat part, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You live for the combat. Okay, awesome. And who, if someone would start gaming now, right? Like, what would be the name of the game that you would start to introduce them?
So
Like, which game you would start to, here, if you want to get in gaming, this is the game you need to try.
So I would want to find out what their interests are first. Because somebody's interests may not align where mine are at. So uh, I would want to find out where their interests are. If they like shooters, but not so much PvP style of shooters, I would steer towards like the Division 2. If they like online multiplayer big world games, I would steer them to like Final Fantasy. uh, you've got let's see, you've got trying to open up my games here real quick so I can look at them.
The main reason I'm asking is because I got friend who never like gamed before, and he's like, "Yeah, I never played games, but it looks like you all guys have so much fun, right?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"I want to try something," and I'm like, my taste is totally different, but I'm just asking you, do you think is there one game that everyone could enjoy as a starter?
No, I don't because it's like not everybody likes pizza, not everybody likes hamburgers, I mean, so you're gonna have to sit down and kind of listen to where their interests are at and where they lie, because some people like Sims, some people adore Sims. I like Sims. I don't adore Sims. I like Sims. So I've got Sims 3, Sims 4, uh all the city games I've got, and I enjoy playing them. Those are great games that I can just veg out and not have to really do a lot of thinking about. They're easy to
Yeah,
play. So
that makes sense, and it's awesome. It shows that like it's how important it is to have different games. So
yeah,
as we all are different people with different interests, and we need
yeah.
different games. Yeah, that makes
There's
sense.
indie games out there that some people don't like, but a lot of people love those indie games. So it comes to what your interests are. But whatever your interests are, play it, find out. Because and don't just sit in your comfort zone. Step out of it a little bit. Hey, you
Yeah,
might like
try
COD.
something, something, and get hooked in, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, you
that's
might like
very
Call of
easy to do.
Duty. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so about your streaming beginnings, what motivated you to start streaming?
So I back when I first started streaming, I had seen a couple of other people doing it, and I was like, you know what, I this interests me. I want to try to do it. So when I first started streaming, I was streaming on console. I tried doing the direct console stream where you had no camera. It was just you playing, and then your viewers, that's all they seen was your gameplay. They could hear you, but that, and then so I was like, no, this doesn't kind of fit me. I want my face out there a little bit, so I bought a stream PC, connected it to that, and then got a camera, and then, now we're I don't wanna even go into my setup. You've seen it, but
I saw your setup, and that's like that's awesome. Like made me jealous, kind of in a good way. That's awesome, yeah. And on the console, which game you started with streaming?
So the very first console game I ever played was Final Fantasy VIII.
So you have like Final
Well,
Fantasy a
technically
lot.
that's not true because I played Pac-Man back in the 70s with my mom on Atari. So, I mean, technically that would have been my first console game.
Yeah, but I mean streaming wise, it's
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, yeah.
No, so streaming wise, would have been, I think it was Division 1. If I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, it was Division 1. It may have been, yeah, I think it was.
All right, okie dokie. So
It's been a hot minute.
Speaking about that Major Pain, right? You said you had it since 1998, right?
I've had Major Pain long before that.
Yeah,
so most people think it comes from the movie. I guess
that
that's
was my
the
question.
number.
That was my question. How did you come up with Major Pain?
So Mama called me a major pain in the butt all the time. So I just kept it.
Oh, so that's yeah, because my first, yeah, like you said, everybody's like, oh, that's from the movie. Mine was the same. I saw you like the movie so much or something like that. I couldn't figure out, but yeah, that's even better. That's awesome, actually. And okay, let's continue streaming then. How was your first ever Twitch stream? Like, I know it, not the one on console, right? Not the one where you just like press share button and go on Twitch, but like the one with camera.
So I think one of the hardest things people that don't stream don't realize is getting in front of a camera isn't as hard as you think it is. The hard part is having the constant conversation with somebody that isn't there. Because they're not standing in front of you. And if you have nobody chatting, you still got to talk. You still got to have that conversation. I struggle with that even to this day. I still struggle with that because it's hard. And you'll be playing a game and then you'll be focused in what you're doing instead of focusing on your chat. And when you don't have anybody in your chat talking to you, it's hard to sit there and be focused and then be like, oh yeah, we're doing this today, blah, blah, blah. But it happens like that.
Okay, and when you had your first stream, right? What was your setup? Straight with camera or?
I had it, if I remember correctly, I had it just to the right of my, in the same spot that this camera is in, just to the right of my TV. But then I was using a 44-inch TV to play on console. So, I mean, it was a little more over to the side than this one is because this is just a 32-inch monitor. So,
how do you think? How important is streaming schedule from day one?
So that's one of the things that, like, you'll see a lot of differing opinions online. There are some that believe that you should only stream maybe 3-4 days for 4 hours each and have like a set schedule. For some people that can work. For if you've got a job that only gives you that kind of a window, that can work for you. Me, I'm one of those. I'm not worried about as much getting big and becoming, one of these big streamers as millions of people watching me all the time. I don't care about that. I don't care about the money. And I'm just doing it because I enjoy gaming. I enjoy what I do. And I just want to share that with whomever wants to step into my channel and watch and hang out and conversate. That's what it's about.
What was your first big moment on stream?
Oh, I've had a few.
100 followers or like.
I've had a few. My biggest one is about to happen. I'm like 8 away from hitting my 500. My stream anniversary is coming up, and my birthday's coming up, and I'm gonna on July 23rd. That's when hopefully the stars align of all three of those things, and I can do those all on the same day. So my stream anniversary is on July 23rd. My birthday's on July 23rd. So I should hopefully have the last 8 people follow by then, and so I'm gonna do the 500 follower celebration, birthday, and streamiversary stream all at the same time.
I love how it sounds, streamiversary. I need to
Yep.
remember that. I will try to remember this for this podcast, like I don't know, podcast anniversary. I don't want to try to...
Well, you can still call it streamiversary, you know.
Exactly, like okay. And like, what's the biggest lesson that early streams teach to you? Like,
So the biggest thing that I think that most people get right or wrong, it doesn't matter, but whatever you're going to stream, you need to have fun doing it. So if it's a game you enjoy playing, I wouldn't follow the niches. The niches is going to lead you down a rabbit hole. You're going to end up buying game after game after game to try and keep up with the niches and everything else. The best thing I could tell you is find a game that you enjoy playing, or whatever it is that you're going to stream. Enjoy it, because that's going to bring you out to the people that come in to watch you. That's going to bring out your personality. That's going to bring those people in to watch you, and that's going to bring others in to watch you. Is them seeing your personality and getting along with that personality that is you.
yeah, completely. Because as we know, many viewers want to connect with the streamer as well, and like even I had this not argument, a debate with a friend that he said that you need to follow the new games. And I said, no, you can play one game all the time. And then he said, yeah, but you can't play story games all the time, right? But it's very popular these days. It's very popular, especially on TikTok, doing these speed runs, right? You have
Yeah.
one game and do the speed run. So it's
Yeah.
a proof that you can play one game that you enjoy and people follow and watch that. So you don't, as you said, you don't need to follow like all the time. You don't need to follow different niches.
So you don't need to go out and get the brand new game every time. So there are two things that I think build stream. One is your personality. And it doesn't matter what you're streaming. Whatever your personality is, the people are going to come in to watch you because it's you and you're being authentic with them. The other thing is you don't watch your, me, I've got up here when I'm streaming, I've got my mod view up. I can see how many people are watching. Don't look at that number, because that number is going to affect how you think, and it's going to affect how you interact with the people that are in your chat. If you got one person watching you, that doesn't matter. Enjoy the time, because that one person eventually is going to grow into 2 people. That 2 people is going to turn into 4, that 4, 8, 16, 32, and so on. It's going to happen. It's just going to take time. And you just got to give you.
The previous guest said the same, and he said he even turns off the viewers. As you know, you can turn it off, the viewers.
Yeah.
But he said the only place where it helps is where you can tell that you are growing, right? When you see like there are 2 viewers, then 5, then 6. It's kind of helpful, right? And then sometimes you get 50 viewers, and next time they drop to 20, and you need to start to sing. So something is going a bit wrong.
My point exactly. You're sitting there with 50 viewers one day, and then all of a sudden the next day you're sitting at 10. That's an ego hit. That's an ego hit. And that's going to affect your mind, and it's going to affect how you're streaming. So don't keep an eye on that number. That number is going to hurt you in the long run, because you're sitting here focusing on that number of trying to get people in. Be you. That's the only thing you need to do. Be you. 2 things. You need to be you, and you need to be individualized. So don't be the same streamer as somebody else. You need to be you and be individualized, because if you're streaming the same thing, then, there's thousands of people out there doing the same exact thing you're doing. So if all you're doing is playing a game, sitting in front of a camera, and not talking to your chat, there are thousands of people doing that already. You need to be you, and you need to be individualized. So you not have a gimmick, but be individualized, be different.
Yes, that makes sense. So you know it now. At this moment, you know that, right? But in beginning, how did you handle? I believe you had the same thing in beginning. There was 0 to 5 viewers, and kind of like, how did you manage to?
Oh,
It,
I get 0 views now, man. I don't let it affect me because
I
you know
know,
what,
I know, but like when people begin, it's kind of like they expect like, and I just want to viewers to understand that it's not a big deal to
yeah,
focus on numbers only.
yeah.
Like you said, you need to find it that you love to do
Unless
and
you're
stream.
unless you're looking at streaming as a paycheck, which if that's your route, I would highly not recommend doing that because more people end up not making any kind of money out of streaming than the people that do. Pardon me. So my advice to anybody that's getting into streaming is open the door, start streaming, be yourself, and be individualized. Don't be the same as every other streamer out there. Don't count on it as making money. Don't count on it. Just have fun doing it. Because one of two things is going to happen. You're going to open that door. You're going to find out it's not quite for you, and you're going to want to close the door. Or over time, you're going to start growing, and you'll see where you can rely on whether or not it's going to be something that you can rely on as financial income, or if it's just going to be a hobby that you do.
How has your content evolved since your early streams?
So since I've been back streaming full time, it's been good. Are there days that I'll sit, half a day in a 12-hour stream with 1-2 people in chat? Sure, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm online. I'm playing already, so I stream. If people want to come in and interact, and when somebody's interacting with me in my chat, dude, I light up. I'm like a Christmas tree in a friggin' mall when somebody comes in and starts talking to me because it's like, oh yes, and then we'll get into a conversation about the game or whatever else that wherever the conversation leads. But I try to have fun with it.
How long your streams usually last?
So I have some that I'll do maybe 4 hours, but average I'll do 12-hour streams.
12-hour streams average.
That's
Awesome.
probably about my average. I mean, I could go into my panel real quick, and I could tell you how many hours I've streamed over the last month.
How many times per week? Roughly?
I stream almost every day.
Almost every day, 12 hours.
Probably average.
Okay, and how do you keep up the energy on days you're really tired or drained?
That's where I have fun. So in the last 30 days, I've streamed 208 hours and 56 minutes.
How many days?
In the last 30 days.
So that's in a month, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
208 hours. So,
Wow, that really shows that you enjoy it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy getting on and playing games and then sharing that with people that want to come in and stop by and say hi. That's at the end of the day, that's how you got to do it. If you're looking at trying to make money out of it, most people don't. You got to look at it as it's a hobby and have fun with it.
And what's your favorite part of streaming these days?
So my favorite part is the interactions that I get with people. I loved it. So I'm a disabled veteran, and I suffer from social anxiety and some other things. But standing in a crowd of people, I get highly anxious, and I'll have breakdowns and whatnot. I get sweaty and all that stuff. But when it comes to people talking to me in my chat, I don't have that interaction. And so it's a lot easier for me to communicate, a lot easier for me to talk. Now, you'll see me in some of my clips. Dude, I'm shaking like a leaf, my screen shaking because my anxiety hits the roof right when I'm in the middle of a fight like in Hunt. In some of my clips, I've had comments about, why are you shaking so much, dude? My anxiety's through the roof.
But people who join your streams, they are the same interest. So I believe that really calms you down, kind of. They are there for you. They are for the same game. It kind of, it is like a supportive community, isn't it?
Well, it's different when you're in the middle of like a battle in a game because you're sitting there, you're trying to win. And it's like, my anxiety will go from like here to here in like a split second trying to win a fight.
you just mentioned Hunt Showdown, so that's
Mhm.
also the game you stream?
Yes, I right now I'm streaming Hunt Showdown, Gray Zone Warfare. I was streaming some Final Fantasy 14, and I'm gonna be doing some more of that here in the near future. Let's see, and there's some other Expedition 33. Really love that game. Awesome game there. Let's see, Liza P. Um, let's see. There's a
So
few
you are
games out
not
there.
so you are not fixated only on one game only, right?
No, I find a game if I enjoy playing it. So I'll start a game off stream just to see if it's something that'll tickle my pickle a little bit. But outside of that, if it's something I'm gonna enjoy, I'll hit the live button and go.
Awesome. And yeah, as you said, you mentioned Hunt Showdown. That's not the game to calm you down. That's understandable.
Yes,
You could
for
get
the most
shaky
part,
very easily.
for the most
Shaky
part,
and
my deaths, I get more mad at myself than I do other people. It's because I know where I'm at, and it's like, oh man, how did I let that happen? But at the end of the day, it's to have fun and be there with your friends.
it's not only like, when you Hunt Showdown is game where you can be happy with yourself, but like you can even like be alright if other person shoots you, right, and does something. You
Yeah,
can blame you can find where's the fault is in yourself,
most
but
of the time it's my fault.
yes, except the AI in Hunt Showdown is terrible, isn't it? They can take you
there
down
are
even if
times
you
that
do
the
your
zombies
best.
get the better of you. Yes,
Like,
I
and
had that happen to
especially
me
in the middle of the
yesterday.
fight. Happens every day with me when I play it.
I had like 5 zombies and an emulator all on me at the same time while I'm trying to do a gunfight. So it happens. Sometimes the AI plays with you, and sometimes it doesn't. But the best thing I can describe with like games like Hunt Showdown, Call of Duty, any of those games, you know, where you're at when you get like the other day, I did a 5 kill in a row run, and with a katana, I went in, killed the first guy, and then I turned around, waited for his friend to come in to try and get him up, killed him, waited for the other guy to come around, and then killed him. And then my teammates were getting downed outside by a sniper, so I ran over and ended up getting his partner, and then his partner came up to get him, and then I got him. It was like a do 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 do. You know what? Best day in the world. Best day in the world, right there.
Wait. 5 kills with katana in one match?
Yeah,
That is best day,
I actually got
definitely.
him on
And
clip on my YouTube channel.
that
Part
is
one and
best
part
day,
two.
definitely. And everybody, if you play Hunt Showdown, look at this. Go check that clip. So that's some good skill. Awesome, well
No,
done.
I wouldn't call it skill. I would just say, I'm trying to get better with the melee weapons, because there are certain games that you'll run into where almost everybody plays way off in the distance, and you kind of need, the longer range stuff. And then there are games that you'll get into that everybody seems to want to just rush in all at the same time. Those are the games that you need the melee skills more so in. And so I've been working trying to get my melee skills better, because I'm tired of sitting there on a boss and then waiting for it to get done so we can pick up the bounty, and then somebody comes rushing in and they down you in one hit because they've got a katana, so I want to learn.
Yes, of course. And if we start with Hunt Showdown, so what's your most favorite rifle?
Right now I use what is it? Infantry. It's a small ammo rifle that gives you, I think, 16 shots in it.
They changed the names, wasn't it? I think infantry was it the same Winfield in beginning, or
Yeah.
I get really confused, so I might be
Yeah, I'm
wrong in
still learning the
something.
games. I've been playing Hunt about 670 hours since February. So
Since February, all right. Okay, that's fine. And the one of the questions of Hunt Showdown, which is the most terrifying boss?
mm, I think for me, Rockjaw for me is because for me that one is always the one that if I get down, it's going to be that one that gets me down. The other ones are easier to
To
evade
take
if you
care
need
of,
to.
right? You just each of others got one like a special
Rockjaw is
method
hard
how
for
to
me
take.
because it's hard to see which direction Rockjaw sometimes is going to lead, and you got to be out of that leap. And most of the time, somehow I'm still in the middle of that leap, and
Still in
he
the
ends up
middle where
down.
he goes, right?
Yep.
Okay, and has streaming changed the way you play games? For example, you bought more skins so it looks better, or you play a bit slower and speak with chat a bit more, or is the
So
same?
there's only one game. Well, there's several games over my gaming career that I've bought skins for, but in probably the last few years, there's only one game that I've kind of worried about like buying stuff for, and that was Final Fantasy 14. Like you can't see it right now, but this shelf right behind me has got the full Final Fantasy 14 library sitting on it. It's got all the books, all the art books. I've got statues on that shelf, and I'm in the process of rearranging some stuff in my home so I can actually showcase that stuff behind me and have it up so you can see it over my shoulder and stuff.
So we can say Final Fantasy is your favorite game, right?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Like, it's one of the games that I will always love to play.
Okay, yes, that's I should maybe say it differently, but yeah, that's
no. There are people out there that have a one finite game that is their favorite. I'm just not one of those. Final Fantasy is one of my favorites. I mean, one of my other favorites is City Skylines 2. So that'll give you like a gambit of game in between those two, you know?
Do you got a game that you like, really, really old game that you like to replay? Like,
so if there, let's say out of all the games, if there was content drop in every game that I liked, and there was one game out there that dropped something at the same time that I would play over every other thing, would be Division 1, Division 2. Right now we're in Division 2, but they've started production on Division 3. So like when Division 3 drops, oh no, I'm not playing anything else but Division 3.
Okay, straight to Division 3. Okay,
God,
fine.
yes.
So, okay. So do you prefer solo streams or streaming with other people? Like,
it depends
in
on
Hunt
the game.
Showdown, especially in Hunt Showdown,
It depends on the game. Like Expedition 33, I'm okay with streaming solo because it's a solo player game. Like City Skylines 2, single player game. There are plenty of games out there that I'll play. Like Liza P will be single player. The one that just got I can't remember the name of it right now, but stuff like Final Fantasy 14, it's actually a massive multiplayer online game, but I'm okay doing like boss fights solo streaming. Games like Hunt, Gray Zone Warfare, those style of games, Tarkov, those style of games, no, I want to be in a party doing those games. It's harder to do some of the things that you want to do in those games solo. Are there streamers out there that do solo content for those games? Oh God, yes. There's some good ones out there, and I would love to have that skill to be able to go in and own solo, and I've done it. I've done solo trios in Hunt, and I've gotten 5 kills in one round in a solo trio run, but it's hard.
It is hard. It's really hard. A solo against trios, even duos sometimes. So, and what's something that happened on stream that you will never forget?
Oh, I've had people recently come in and start. I don't even know where they come from, and I don't even know why they come in to do it, but have been razzing me because my name has Major in it, and basically telling me it's Stolen Valor. And it's like, if you know anything about Stolen Valor, you know that the word Major alone is not Stolen Valor. So, it's stupid people like that.
Well, yeah, of course. And, and how would you define success as a streamer? When you're a successful streamer?
How much you enjoy doing it.
Like how much you enjoyed the streaming.
Yeah. If you're not enjoying it, then you're not being too successful because you're more worried about other things than streaming.
Okay, so let's speak about your stream audience. Like, how would you describe your community vibe? Like, what's the vibe in your stream?
Well, most of the time it's upbeat. When people are in my chat talking, we're having fun. We're chatting with each other. Um, I've been redoing some stuff with my setup, and I need to move some of my peripherals around so I have quick access to like mute Discord, so I could talk to stream without talking to people that are in my Discord at the same time. Um, so I had my Discord on my game PC. It is now on my stream PC. So I have a pedal to be able to mute like Discord. Um, it is still on my game PC, and I need to put it on my stream PC so I could do it on there. But outside of that, just having
All
fun,
right,
man.
yeah. And how do you keep toxic behavior off your chat? Do you ban people
I
straight
don't allow
away?
it. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
allow
do
it.
you ban
You
straight
come in-
away?
Yeah, you can come in and talk shit to me all you want. Sorry for the phrase. You can come in and talk crap to me all you want. I'm not. That doesn't bother me. But when you start talking crap to people that are in my chat, the other viewers, then it's immediate doom. You're out. And I've got a special little animation that shows up that says you're out. Boom.
Does it? All right.
Yeah.
I would like to see it, but to see it, to see it, you need to ban someone, right? So it's hard. It would be hard to see it to wait till you ban somebody. Okay. What is the best thing a viewer ever said to you? Said or did to you? The best thing ever, like some.
I've had people give me props on gameplay and stuff like that, and that's probably been the best. That's always the best thing to help like build you up and whatnot when you're doing something and let's say you got into a fierce battle with somebody and your viewers seeing that and they're giving you accolades for successfully overcoming the battle. That gives you the best feeling.
It's the same like when you when the other players you play with tells you like GG at the end, right? So
Yep.
It's well done and you played well and stuff like that. So all the team is happy and everybody's GG. That's the feeling you want, right?
I had somebody some time ago that I actually shut down my stream when they came in and started talking, like completely just shut it off because they were dealing with some issues in life and that's not something I wanted on my stream, but they needed somebody there for them. So I cut down my stream, went and talked with them, hung out with them, even though it was over internet. They needed that somebody. So I've done that. I've had people come into my stream and needed somebody to kind of chat with, and just being somebody they could talk to. It's always a need out there, especially nowadays.
Like, do you gather suggestions from your community? Like, ask for advices, what you could improve and what they like
Do
feedback,
I ask
basically
people?
feedback. Yeah, like
Do
when
I?
you're on your stream and like, guys, would you like me to change something this or like, what would you enjoy more in my stream?
I've not really asked anybody for that too much advice. In the beginning when I first started up, I was asking other streamers that I seen that were successful. I would ask them their advice on things that I had going on in my own stream that like I wanted to improve. And so I'd reach out to them and I'd be, hey, this is what's going on. What would you do to, make that situation better, whether it be getting a new camera or whatever the case may be, and most streamers help out in that kind of a situation and be like, hey, yeah, this is my equipment, man. Here's a link. Go look at it,
Yeah, one of the guests said that like, actually, streamers are very helpful to each other. It's not like competing for the viewers. Yeah, and she was like really like before she started streaming, she said like, oh, she's like kind of they are so high and far away, but like it's very easy, like because You would think
People,
that streamers compete with each other, but like, in actually, it's really helpful to each other because they are being in
some
the
do,
same place. They are
some do
being in the
compete with
same
each
place.
other for sure, but for the most part, most are helpful. And whether you got people famous as streamers or not, we're all people at the end of the day. And some people forget that, unfortunate, but if we all help each other out, we'll all get to the same point we're all trying to go. So
Yeah, that's in streaming and also in live. It's not just in
yep, yep,
streaming, right? Yeah.
yep.
And do you involve viewers in your game choices, like weapons loadouts or?
I have that in Hunt. I have a couple of weapons loadouts. I'm still trying. So I'm not at I haven't prestiged 100 times yet. So I don't have a bunch of hunters saved up that have access to all of the gear. So I'm still working on that. I am at, think I've prestiged 28 times in almost 700 hours. So, I mean, I think that's pretty good. Once I
It's
get to where
like
I'm at,
how do
go
you
ahead.
think how do you think how many years it's gonna take to reach 100?
Oh, by this time next year, I should be 100 of 100.
Sure. I got 5,000 hours and I'm prestige 47, I think. So
Yeah.
it's a long
But
time for me.
did you
It's a long
start
road.
prestige when you first started playing?
No, that's the
Yeah,
problem. Yeah,
exactly. So
I was trying to save money and doing different things, but then you understand in the game, like, what's the point of the money? Like prestige is a bigger challenge.
so it's hard when you prestige because you don't have a lot of money to be able to buy the good weapons. But at the same time, once you get to that 100 of 100 prestiges, you don't have to worry about that. So when I first started, so I bought the game when it first came out. I played maybe 30 hours ish. So I'm at 680 hours right now. So 650 of that hours has been since February. So when I started playing again, I asked other people that had done the prestige, and I was like, is it worth doing it or not? And there were a few that said, no, dude, it's not worth it. And then there were some that said yes. And I just weighed out both options. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. Because at the end of the day, if the game's still going next year and I'm at 100 of 100, that's going to be personal for me. Like, dude, I did it.
Yes, that's correct. And what's your favorite running joke or inside thing with the chat? Do you got some like special celebrations or?
Not really. I'm I'm in the process of doing some things with my stream setup. So once
Your
I get
stream
that,
setup is awesome. I saw it in the picture. That is
once I
sick.
get my stream setup finalized, I'm in the process of working on something for my stream itself. So there's going to be a whole rollout of that going. Um, I don't want to dive too much into that because I don't want to give away anything I'm doing because I don't want
Yeah,
anybody else to
definitely.
steal what I'm doing and run with
That's
it.
good. So people will wait for it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So once that rolls out, I think the amount of people that are coming in and following is going to convert a little bit faster for me down the road because once I roll that out, it's going to be something that's me. It's going to be something that's mine. Nobody else is doing it. So I'm going to separate myself from other streamers that are doing similar content. And that's something that everybody needs to do. That's something that's going to draw the viewers in. And that's something that's going to draw, at the end of
Yeah,
the day,
let's wait.
that's what you need.
Yeah, let's wait and see what's gonna be. So, do you also stream on different platforms or just Twitch?
Right now I'm streaming only on Twitch. I just got approved for the 24K or the 2K beta. I'm having issues with OBS streaming the multiple video bit rates. So right now my stream only streams at 2K. Um I've got a shut. So when I normally stream, I record. Excuse me, I record at the same time, and for some reason, when I'm recording, it screws up my 2K stream. The rest of the bit rates run smoothly, but the 2K does not. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that I can still do my recording, because I like having my local recording instead of relying on like Twitch or YouTube to have my recording and then having to spend an hour downloading that. I've already got it.
Yeah, and as I saw, but you're still using YouTube Shorts, aren't you? I saw them.
Yes,
So
I
you
so
are
I upload.
so
I
are using that
upload.
platform as well.
So I've been one of the many things I've been working on. So I use StreamerBot for my the majority of the lifting when it comes to running my stream outside of OBS. StreamerBot does everything once you program it or download other people's programming to do it. Does everything like Lumia, any of the other like Streamlabs that does the overlays, all that stuff. It does everything for you. So I've been setting up all my own stuff inside that. And I'm in the process of using one of the OBS plugins to streamline my vertical content, so I don't have to go to outside sources to get clips and then be able to upload those from outside sources like Eclipse or Opus Studio or any of those. It's
So you're
automatically
getting
done
it.
within OBS.
So you're getting it done automated, yeah.
Yeah, and the only thing I've got left to do is I'm working on an OBS plugin. I'm building it myself. That'll include speech to text in the video, so that way once I clip, it'll grab that clip, it'll download it. The only thing I'll have to do is shorten the video to upload it. That's it.
And you're building it yourself. Do you got like programming background or?
I have some.
All right.
I do. I write something and then I send it to a good friend of mine called ChatGPT to double check.
Oh yeah,
it.
that's the best friend. I use it a lot. I love that friend. He's everybody's friend these days. Like,
So I get double checked, and then ChatGPT spits it back and says, "Oh yeah, you could do this," and then I'll be like, well, I want to do this here.
yes, it's awesome these days. The AI assist, isn't it?
Yes,
Just thinks
it can be. Yes, it can be.
It can be, definitely. Okay, so let's that's about your streaming. As you said, you are a veteran, right?
Yes, I'm a veteran.
I'll do some veteran related questions. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then, in what branch did you serve in?
I was in the U.S. Navy. I was in from 91 to 94. I served in the first Gulf War. I spent a year and a half in the Persian Gulf, and then I came back to the United States. Went to A school, and then I spent about 3 months off the coast of Haiti during some scuffle down in Haiti. Then my ship got decommed to force reduction, and a bunch of us got forced out. So that's why I was out in 94.
All right. And did you do any gaming during service?
No, I did not.
Yeah. And what's the biggest change going from military life to civilian life?
Ooh, it depends on what you did in the military. There's a lot of things in the military that does not cross over to civilian. So getting that re-education coming from military to civilian is important for anybody that is serving.
All right. Do you think like streaming gives veterans a voice? Like
it definitely can. For me, it gives me the ability to connect with other people without. So part of my issues that I have going on is social anxiety, agoraphobia. The agoraphobia, being out in public, that is huge. And this gives me the ability to socialize without having to have that happen to me. So, it lessens my anxiety. So, I know there are other veterans out there that suffer from, depression, anxiety, agoraphobia, and some similar issues that I do. But there are others out there that suffer from similar things like, my knees are bad, my back's bad. So, there's veterans out there that don't have limbs and whatnot, and having a way for them to get online and socialize with other veterans at the very least is game changing for any veteran out there.
So you're saying that you feel gaming can support mental health, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And on your streams, do you talk about your military life, or you don't mention it?
I don't unless somebody brings it up. I mean, it's in my about me on my Twitch. It's in my about me pretty much on all my social media. I'm a disabled veteran. I'm a single dad.
Yeah. So you would say that to veterans who are struggling, right, mentally, that gaming would be a great thing to do, like mentally help you, and if you got some mental health problems, like you mentioned depression, right? Would you say that gaming can help with it?
So suicide is definitely one of the more prevalent things within the veteran community. Um, Reaching out to somebody if you're in that situation is the first and foremost thing you should do, is find that help. But next to that, finding a community and gaming can be one of them to help support your needs that you have is the most important thing. Um, Doing it alone is not something you need to do. So you need to find that outlet, whether it be going to church, whether it be gaming, whether it be going to, if you suffer from uh, addiction, finding that addiction outreach program that you can go to get that help that you need is a must, and that should be first and foremost thing that you do in any situation. Find that help. Then if gaming helps, if going to church helps, if those things, that is a secondary thing, but can be just as important because that can be something that supports the first thing of you getting that help initially.
Okay, and as you said about community, there's this military and veteran gamers community that you're in,
MVG?
right?
Yes.
MVG, yes, MVG. I keep forgetting the long name. So MVG, military and veteran gamers, right?
Yes.
And it's a big. I saw they got a Discord, their own Discord, right? So
Yes.
it's 6,000 people, something like
Yes.
that. It's 6,000 people. So where did you find out about them?
I found out through them through another veteran streamer that was streaming at the time. And I checked them out, and it seemed like a good outreach program for bringing veterans together and helping veterans support veterans. So, for sure, I wanted to join in, and because I was streaming already at the time, I became part of their battle buddy, which is why that's part of my stream team that I've got. Uh, and it's just basically it's a place where if as a veteran you see somebody part of these programs, you could come to them, and most of them should open arms invite you in to be part of the community with no issues.
Yeah, that's actually a really good community, and even their motto is healing through gaming.
Yep.
Which just shows like that they are creating that community and support for each other for veterans, which is pretty impressive. I would say more than 6,000 members they got. That shows that there are loads of veterans or also civilians. I think there's also a lot of civilians and spouses as well, right?
Yes.
That are so that's
for the
a load.
most part, it's mostly military and military family, spouses, maybe children, parents
Yes,
are
military
all.
family. I was
It's
struggling with that, coming
you're
up with
good. You're
that.
good. So there isn't too many civilians in there. It's mostly all veterans or directly veterans' family.
Yes, there was veterans family was. I was like, I couldn't come up with the name, but yes, you said it very perfectly. And healing through gaming. What does that phrase means to you personally?
The reason why I play games and the reason why I stream is because that's my connection to the outside world.
Yeah, awesome. And is there a? Do you think I didn't check the Discord more? Is there like a? Does it shows from which branch or service are the most member list?
I
It's not an
believe
important question. It's just like I'm wondering.
I believe within the Discord, you could go in there and you can look at like under Army, Navy,
I gonna do
and the
that.
different branches. You can see how many people are in those, but I think it only shows those that are online.
Okay. And another community you are in that's not connected to veterans, but this is the community that my previous guest was in, and
Yes.
it's called Reign of Anarchy community. It's a
Yes.
streaming community, right? Stream team
Yes.
from 20 consists of 21 member at the moment.
I believe so.
As I checked, yeah. And then for people who didn't see the previous episode, like what is Reign of Anarchy? How would you describe?
A community of streamers and gamers for streamers and gamers. So we're trying to build a community of people that enjoy streaming and building a community. And this isn't just like we want to support one streamer. We want to try and build it to where we're supporting many streamers and bringing all of those people together under the same umbrella to and trying to get it into my head correctly. Just building a community
It's
together.
a support. It's a team community, right? It's again,
a team
it's back to
effort
community.
Community. Team effort
Yes,
community
exactly.
to build together, building together so we can build stronger together.
And how did you? Were you there from beginning?
So I've known Marsh and some of the guys since the beginning of when. So Run Gun and Murphy and myself were part of a group that played on PlayStation together.
Oh yeah, he said about his division buddies. So you are one of them, right?
So we were on PlayStation together. In fact, our group that was on PlayStation together, when the last raid came out in Division 2, we were third in the world to complete it. So we had a PC group complete it, and then we had a console group complete it, and then we were third to complete it. And so our leader at the time was like, hey, I ran into somebody that's playing on PC. I want to go and you guys want to come with me and we'll convert over to PC and play Division on PC. And some of us were like, heck yeah, let's go. So most of us jumped over. We created another group on PC, played together for a little while. And then that's when we all met Marsh and some of the other people within the Marsh orbit. So I've known them probably, I want to say close to 8 years.
Oh, that's a long time. So yeah, now it all comes together. He said he started Division 1 and he met those guys that he for first time spoke in multiplayer chat and stuff like that. So yeah,
I want to say
it's awesome.
8 years. Somewhere.
It's awesome how it like these stories crosses each other, and then you can hear from each side from different of you. That's really
actually
awesome.
We met Marsh during the pandemic. I think it was actually it wasn't quite 8 years ago. Because that's when he started playing Division 2 on PC, I believe, was during the pandemic. That's when he started streaming. So yeah, it was probably right towards then. So about 5 years. 6 years.
He was talking about the Han Showdown tournament. Did you participate in it?
No, I was one of the streamers trying to build people into the tournament. So you had to watch one of the stream team uh, streamers for X amount of hours in order to get up enough points to be able to buy the uh, the ticket into the tournament. So I was one of the streamers that was supplying that ticket availability, if you will, to be able to join the tournament.
Are you planning to join the next one?
I'm not that good with PvP. I'll be
Not
honest.
that good. Well, until you try, you don't know.
Well, I historically PvP in games is not kind of my forte. I love PvE games more than PvP. I do play Hunt. I do play other games that have PvP in them, but I don't. I try not to focus as much on PvP than I do PvE side of it. With the exception of games like Hunt. I enjoy the PvP part of it, but I'm not as knowledgeable about all the weapons and how to use them to be able to join a tournament like that and even make it probably past the first round or two.
Yeah, and I was speaking about the most different thing about Hunt Showdown. Well, many things. Graphics are great. There's many things, but like the most biggest one is audio system, isn't it? The sound.
The sound. So this last update, the sound before this last major update was really, for me, it was really good. I can hear whether you were above me, below me, to the left, to the right, in front, or back. And it didn't matter if I was wearing IEMs or if I was wearing headphones. I could hear where you were. Plus, whatever you were walking on gave away that clue as well. Since this last update has gotten a little harder for me to hear directionally, so I've really had to focus on relearning the audio to figure out the direction of things, which is, unless I'm wearing IEMs now, it's almost impossible to hear directionally on these anymore. And I don't know what they did, but I'll figure it out.
The reason I asked is because I find this is the hands down the best audio system from all the games. The reason I asked is because maybe you can suggest me other game who's as good. So I just want to try other game, the same level audio. Because if you haven't,
It depends
tried
on
Hunt
what kind of
Showdown-
games you're in. If you want audio, like, go watch some of the movies within the Final Fantasy 14 game. Oh my gosh. It's just like the between the orchestrated music that's throughout the game to the video clips that they have throughout the game, um oh, I'm brain farting at the moment, but you'll go do a mission and at the end of the mission they'll have like a short video clip.
Oh, cinematics. Yeah.
The
I know
cinematics
what you
throughout
mean.
that game is just phenomenal. And if you have on a good headset, earphones, whatever, oh my God, the music is just phenomenal through that game.
How did you came up with logo? Was it ChatGPT or like on all your like on all your you got hoodie, you got mousepad, mug, hat, right? Beanie. And how did you came up with the logo?
Oh, the logo, I paid somebody to do that many years ago.
Okay, so you got that
My
logo
Major
for a
Pain
long
logo?
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on my stream, the one that spins, I made it spin by doing research on YouTube videos of different things I wanted to do to make my stream look better. And over time, I've learned that less is actually better. So I've cut down on things that pop up on my stream and stuff, making it more clean.
Yeah. Which one would be the I'm trying to guess, but like which is the most selling thing? I'm not asking you how many things you sell or whatever, but like from all the things, which is the best seller?
I think I've given away more than I've told.
Yeah, that's awesome. But like the one that best sells, I would guess is a mug. Is it?
I haven't sold anything on the new site. I'm not sure how many sold on the old site that I had, so I
But
didn't
it's
have
also
access to those.
it is also a really good like giveaway, isn't it? the giveaway
Yeah.
for your own logo, your own brand, and if more people want them, they can find them on your website and buy themselves. So it's a
Yep.
really good thing.
Yeah.
By giving away or selling merch is awesome.
Yep. Doing like a giveaway during like my streamathon on July 23rd. I've thought about doing giveaways at certain intervals throughout the stream, so that way people could get, like a mouse pad or a coffee mug or something from watching the stream.
Yeah, awesome. And let's talk about new streamers, like advices, like your advices to new streamers. Like instead of asking like what's the biggest advice you would give, I would ask you like if you were starting today, right? What would be the thing you skip entirely? Like what you wouldn't do that many streamers think that they need to do?
Gear. Nowadays there are ways that you can stream without having to dump a bunch of money into setting up a quality stream. The amount of money I put into my stream is well more than a lot of people put into theirs. But a lot of people end up spending a lot of money on stuff that either they don't need, shouldn't even use, all because they end up watching other people on like YouTube or whatever suggesting that they buy XYZ when you could get in basic equipment and still have a good quality productive stream and nobody would know the wiser of what kind of equipment you're using. So gear to me would be the number one thing.
And with that very anxious thing in beginning is viewer count, isn't it? Like and what would you say, like what would be the antidote to that? Just turn off the viewer count, or just
don't pay attention to it.
don't pay attention? It is
You
hard.
can tell. You can tell how many people are in your stream by who's chatting. If there's nobody chatting, it don't matter if there's 20 people up there on the viewer count. If there's nobody chatting, that does you worse service than having 0 people on that counter. Having 20 people in your chat that aren't talking is worse.
And the new streamers, should they focus on Twitch or they should stream in more platforms? Should they need to kill one platform first and then get to the next one, or start in different platforms at the same time?
I have been toying with the idea of multi-streaming. There's platforms out there that you could get on that'll take your single stream and send it to different ones that cost you money. You can do it within OBS yourself. That doesn't cost you any money outside of. My recommendation would be figure out what platform you want to stream on. Focus only on that platform on streaming. Use your clips and send that to your social media and build your social media following that way. That'll drive traffic back to your stream. Multi-streaming in the beginning isn't going to do you really any good. So streaming to say Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok all at the same time isn't really going to help you out. Any viewers you would get on a single platform is going to be split between multiple platforms, and then you'll end up with the same viewers watching you on Twitch, YouTube, let's say TikTok. It's going to be the same 3 people watching on. So it's not going to help you multi-streaming. Stick to one platform. Use your clips, your highlights. Use those to build your social media platforms on other social media apps like YouTube Shorts, Instagram, X, TikTok.
By the way, TikTok. Are you on TikTok? I think I didn't find you on TikTok. You are.
I upload to TikTok. I upload to YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X, and then TikTok. All of my clips.
How do you think what's more helpful? I mean, more effective, TikTok Shorts or YouTube Reels?
So I've gotten most of my views on YouTube Short. I'll upload a clip. I've had a couple clips that have gotten over 3,000 views, which is for me that's like ooh, it's party time. Because my average viewership on a lower end video is 500. On a decent video is about 1,200. So when I get a video or two that hit the 3,000 mark, for me that's awesome. But I've also been changing the way that I do my clips for YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Twitter. So Twitter you can post long form. YouTube you can post long form, just not shorts. So when I post on YouTube, I try to post YouTube Shorts. On Instagram, it's the same layout as the YouTube Shorts. On TikToks, it's the same layout as YouTube Short. On Facebook and Twitter, I do long form on those.
Yeah, okay. And you know, how did you? I mean, like how new streamers could find their style, right? With their different streamers. Like one is like you watch because of his skill or her skill. One is because they are really entertained. Like how a new streamer should find their style, and how did you find yours?
I've watched people that I've liked some of the things that they do during their stream, and then I tried to figure out a way to incorporate those things that I've liked that they do into some of the things that I do, so that way I'm building me at the same time. The I have a hard time watching like big streamers, and I'm talking like the big streamers that get millions of views on their YouTube Shorts and stuff like that. I have a hard time watching those kind of streamers and then taking stuff that they do and trying to implement it, because that's a different stream setup than what I'm doing and what I can do right now, because I'm not pulling that kind of crowd, obviously. So I watch people that are moderately bigger than me, see what they're doing, and then I try to use some of the things that they're doing and bring that into my style of what I'm doing, so that way it's me doing it, not copying them, but try to incorporate something similar into what I'm doing, so that way it's individualized for me, if that makes sense. I don't think watching bigger streamers and trying to emulate stuff that they're doing is going to end up helping you, because they don't need to worry about what they do as much as somebody that is a smaller streamer trying to build themselves, because they can stream almost anything and get the views for it. Because they have such a large following. Smaller streamers have to worry about those kind of things. So when you're trying to do your content, you have to focus on you being individualized and getting your content the way you need it to be successful.
How important is having a posting schedule in beginning when you start, like staying with schedule? So
I've
people
tried to
know.
do a schedule and it never works for me, because I don't work. So when I jump on the computer in the morning, if I want to play something, most of the time I'm hitting the live button when I'm playing something. So having a schedule is hard for somebody like me. Having a schedule for somebody that works a certain time every day, they know their schedule ahead of time, they could post a schedule. That would work really good for somebody like that. Me, if I were to wake up during the day or in the morning and do things up until a certain time, I could possibly set up a schedule, but that would be very hard for me to do, because I want to get online. I want to have fun and I want to play a game. And most of the time it's hitting that live button.
Yeah. Your advice, how to stay motivated when growth is very slow? Like, you know, you're streaming 1 month, 2 viewers, 2 months, 2 viewers? Like if you got very, very small amount of, in 6 months, for example, you're streaming 6 months and you got just 5 viewers, like how to stay motivated in that situation?
So that's where it falls back onto streaming something that you enjoy playing, or streaming something that you enjoy doing. Because if you enjoy doing it, it'll help not paying as much attention to the amount of people that are watching. Because a lot of times the amount of people that are watching aren't going to, especially if you're uploading clips, because your clips can be far more successful than your stream is if you're introducing social media into your streaming. So for me, I wouldn't keep an eye on the amount of people that are watching. If people are there, they're chatting, obviously have fun, but to me, I don't watch the people that are in my stream. I just use it as a way to capture my video so that way I can clip it and upload it later to social media.
Should beginners use a camera from day one, or wait?
Should what?
Should new streamers use camera from day one? Like, should they wait till they got camera and only then go online, or start without camera and build it slowly?
So there are two answers to that, or two hurdles. One comes to your comfortability. If you feel like you can be comfortable, then you go to step two. Step two is, can you afford it? I wouldn't go out and charge up a bunch of money on a credit card. And if you got cash in your hand and you could go down and buy a camera, go buy a camera. If you feel comfortable being on stream and having your face on stream, buy a camera. It's better for you in the long run. And I'm not knocking anybody that does VTubing in any way, shape, or form. But for me personally, I like to watch people that I can see their face. I grow a personal connection with them when I can see their face. I can see their expressions. When they're talking to me, I get to see what they look like. I get to see how they look like on their face, their expression, their smile. All of that is a personal connection.
Yeah, okay. And what's something you would do differently if you would start right now, differently that you did in the beginning?
I would have focused less on equipment.
Less on equipment?
Yep. I would have focused more on, I would have got my first stream PC with a camera, but I would have focused and stayed there instead of like, going down the rabbit hole of watching YouTube. Oh, you need to go buy this next mouse. This mouse will change your game. I'm telling you. Guess what? I went and bought the mouse.
Awesome. But I saw your stream equipment, so you got loads of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the loads of stuff you see in that picture I sent you is stuff that I've accrued over the last couple of years, and very little of that is stuff that I've watched other streamers saying, hey, you need to go out and buy. Doing research for sound setup and stuff like that. I went through probably a few hundred different streamers' videos, asking questions, popping into their streams, being like, hey, is this a good device? Do you still support that device? Are you still using that device? Because I seen your video, but in the end, I came up with what I needed that fit my situation and work for me. Did it cost me a little bit more than what I probably needed to pay in the long run? Possibly, but I needed an audio setup that worked for my setup individually. Would I recommend my setup to other people? No.
So let's go with 5 questions then. Coffee or energy drinks?
Ooh, depends on the day, bro. I'm telling you. Today I'm drinking coffee.
Okay, but you support both of them, yeah? Okay. Favorite streamer?
Oh, That one is a hard one.
Okay, you can go with three of them if you can't choose one, but
I watch so many people, so I'm gonna say Marsh is one of my favorite streamers. Obviously, Mad Marsh. Uh, Run Gun, and then let's see. Oh, I'm looking down the list of different people. There's just so many that I watch. Oh my word. I'm gonna say Wrecker. Wrecker's one of my favorite streamers too.
how do you think teabagging? Is it ever valid thing to do? Or is it very
It's not
childish?
something I usually tend to do.
No, I know, but like for example, if one guy is camping, like for all the time camping, or that's just an example. So, like, do you think it is ever valid thing to do, or childish and shouldn't be done?
I'm at that age that teabagging is not something that I tend to do. So I mean, it's not ever really been something I've been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and kill this guy and then teabagging. And I have better ways of jumping in excitement when I get that kill on somebody that's camping, and it's like, you know, you can watch my clips and you'll see my reactions to those. So
And one word your viewers would use to describe you?
a major pain.
That's the word. That's your mom, wasn't it? She said major pain.
Everybody calls me a major pain.
Okay, okay, if that counts. Fair enough. Game character. If you could be one in real life, which one that would be?
I don't know. I've never even thought of it like that. So I'm not. I don't know. I didn't get into the anime scene, so I'm not really into anime. So that's a really tough question for me to even come to an answer on.
Okay, then let's next one. Favorite snack during a long streaming session?
Pretzels, the little pretzels
Yeah,
that are
I know what I mean. So that's the
the
favorite snack.
gold
Yeah.
roll.
Okay. Would you rather stream with 0 viewers or 10 haters? 10 haters would keep your chat active all the time.
Yeah,
and you
but
would
nobody
have
wants
some
to come in.
viewers.
Nobody wants to come in and see people arguing and fighting and stuff like that. So having 10 people in your chat that are arguing with you and hating on you is not a good thing. Get rid of it.
So you say like
I'd
it's the
rather
same as
stream to
0
zero.
viewers, rather stream to 0. Okay. And the best gaming moment you ever clipped, is that the one with Katana?
Probably. It's one of the more actually no. The best clip I have is on my YouTube. It was a Division 2. We were doing a raid, and our friend Murphy was sitting behind me at the end of a trailer, and he was crouched down behind it, and an NPC comes out the door behind him, runs over right behind him, and RPGs him, killing the NPC and him at the same time. Funniest clip you'll ever see.
That's on your YouTube shorts, yeah?
Oh yeah, no, it's on my normal YouTube channel, but yeah,
Okay, I'll take that.
on my videos.
I'll have a look at that.
That is
And,
probably 7 years ago, 6 years ago.
So far away, okay.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
have a look anyway. And if Twitch were shut down today, what would you do next? Like, where would you stream then?
I
What
would
would be your next choice?
stream on another platform. I mean, I don't know which one. There's been a lot of streamers talking about switching platforms, dual streaming to platforms. I'm not gonna knock what their thinking is, but right now, for me, using a single platform to build a stream and then exporting that out to other platforms is the best way to go.
And the last fire question is there some favorite quote or phrase you often say on your stream?
I love everybody. At the end of my stream, I always say, I love you all. Because at the end of the day, these people take time out of their day to come into your stream to watch you. And whether it's one person or 1,000 people, you know what? At the end of the day, I love you all because you took the time to come and watch me.
Let's finish with some debatable questions.
No politics.
And yeah. Is Twitch oversaturated, or is it still full of opportunities?
So, Twitch, any streaming platform is oversaturated at the moment. So the only way you're going to make anything out of it is to go back to originally what I said. You got to be you. You got to enjoy streaming what you're streaming, and then make yourself individualized. So you can't stream the same thing somebody else is streaming and expect growth. It'll never happen. Because if you turn on Hunt Showdown right now, I'm not saying this is actually right now, but if you turn on Hunt Showdown right now, there's 300 people streaming. The top 15 people have all the streamers in it, or the viewers, and the rest of the people have one or none. So if you go down, all the people that have one or none, they're all streaming basically the same thing. They're either not communicating with their chat, just sitting there playing the game. So you got to individualize yourself. You got to enjoy what you're doing, and you got to be you.
Should streamers be expected to engage with every single viewer? I mean, not every single viewer, but should the streamers always answer on the questions that are going on the chat? Even because some people
depends on how many people are chatting. If you got 1,000 plus people in your chat all chatting at the same time, it's impossible to answer every one of them. Unless you're doing a just chatting, stream, then, of course you need to answer as many questions that are flying by. But, if you're playing a game and you got, hundreds of texts going across your screen at the same time, it's hard to keep up with every question that comes across.
So gaming, do you agree that can gaming actually be a therapy, or is it that overstated?
Gaming can be a therapy. There's political innuendos out there that I won't go into, but gaming can be a therapy. It's how you use it that can dictate whether it's a therapy or it's something bad for you.
And in some games there are loot boxes, right? Like, are loot boxes just gambling? Was like a gambling trick for creators, for devs?
Games use them, streamers use them. It's the fear of missing out, FOMO. People. It's become the kind of the business model industry kind of wide. I'm not a fan of gear boxes if it costs RL money or loot boxes. Shouldn't have to spend money for in-game stuff. If you're playing a game for 60 hours and you're doing the quests within the game and you hit certain achievements within the game, then those kind of rewards come in the game, and you shouldn't have to spend $10 to buy in-game money to buy a weapon. Now, some creators, and I'll append that with like Hunt, for example, use so you can buy the game reasonably cheap. So they use skins and stuff like that you can buy. I don't consider those like loot boxes that I'm talking about that you have to spend money to buy to be able to get into those loot boxes. I don't consider like what Hunt is doing that way, because you have the option to look at the store and be like, I want this or not. And then you can spend the money to be able to buy that skin or not. To where the loot boxes give you that feeling of missing out, and you gotta buy whatever it is to be able to buy it, to get access to it.
And should streamers speak out on social issues, or always stay neutral?
See, I have a hard time. That's kind of the political side of things.
The classy subjects, politics, religion.
I'm going to fall on the side of whatever your personal beliefs are, that should be personal. Um, and I'm not gonna knock anybody out there, and only I don't care what kind of music you listen to, what kind of sports you listen to. Us as a consumer, we're there to watch you do whatever you're doing. I don't need to know what your personal beliefs are. Um, that should be your personal beliefs. That shouldn't be done on your platform. If you want to talk about that stuff, you can do it off platform. And that's the way I am. That's the way I believe. I don't, you don't need to know what my political beliefs are. I don't need to tell you what my political beliefs are. I can like you for who you are without knowing your political beliefs and where you stand on political beliefs, because you're a person. You're not what your political beliefs are, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And on this note, we're gonna end. And thank you very much for finding time for doing this, because as you said,
Always.
you stream on average 12 hours. And thank you very much for that. And I hope everything goes great with your streamiversary. As you need 8 more followers, and you can do a big celebration.
Yep.
Your streamiversary, and it's also the same month you got your birthday, right?
Well, once you hit, so I've been talking to people that have hit their 500 and, hit their 1,000 and, so on and so forth. And everybody, the kind of consensus that I've come to across everybody that I've talked to, once you hit that 500, after that, getting to 1,000 ends up happening a lot quicker than it did taking you to get to 500. So if it took you a year to get to 500, it should take you maybe 8 months to get to 1,000, and then another, say, 6 months to 1,500. And that time gets shorter and shorter as you build.
Oh, that's good news. That's good news. You put.
I hope.
You hope. I will find out. I will like ask again. I will ask you to come back again after a few months or even a year, and let's see how it went. Maybe you will be on. Maybe you will be like on 20,000 followers minimum. I don't know. We will see. But as I said,
I'll ever see that much. But you know what? If it happens, it happens. I would love it.
Yes. As I said, thank you very much, and I'll see you around. I'll pop into I will pop into some of your streams. Okay, thanks. Bye, everyone.